Man's wisdom is foolishness to God. Tonight I want to talk about how we, as a people of God, I want to say a church, but there's, so many people that will say, well, I'm not a part of your denomination or whatever have you. So, which I don't have a denomination. I just follow the Lord. I just follow Jesus Christ. But how y'all doing? I'm hoping everybody's doing good. I know it's a snowstorm outside. I'm hoping you're well. I'm hoping you're safe, and I hope you're warm. Tonight I'm gonna be talking about man's wisdom. How we've allowed man's wisdom, which is foolishness to God, tell us or dictate to us what to believe. Not they're putting the messages out there and giving you an opportunity to decide for yourself. They're handing us every single thing that we need to shape a decision. So, I'm standing outside in the freezing cold, and it came to my mind about the whole global warming thing. And I know that global warming is not just about it being cold outside or being hot outside. We all know it's a lot deeper than that. But something so simple brought me to terms with man's foolishness. So I wanted to say was I started thinking and the word came to me, and I thought to myself, oh, wait a minute. Global warming brought to us by the same people that control the world. The same people that's seeding the sky with poison. And then person after person after person testify that's what's happening. People who fly planes testify, but no one wants to believe it because it's a conspiracy theory, even though hundreds of people are testifying to that's what's happening. FBI agents who testified to it died. They always kill themselves. They always shoot themselves in the head 2 or 3 times, which you can't shoot yourself in the head more than once. But that's another story. The thing is that man is shaping our belief system, and we are turning from the scriptures. That's part of the great falling away. Even people who have the Bible, have the book of instructions in their hand, will turn to men and say, well, we got to trust the science. Science, we got to look at the facts. Science is facts. And science is brought to you by the same exact people who run the world. And the same exact people who are seeding the sky. What about our carbon imprint? Our carbon imprint is destroying the world. Brought to you by the same, I don't have to say it again, right? Did you know that there was a few men who invented cars that run off water, and the guy drove all the way from Texas, I believe it was Texas, all the way to New York on 1 gallon of water because the steam kept reproducing the water, and the water really wasn't going anywhere. He took it to Ford. Ford wanted to take it and suppress it, so he went to GMC. GMC wanted to take it and suppress it, so he kept it and decided he was going to try to get a loan and do the thing himself. He mysteriously killed himself. Look it up. It was on the news. It wasn't somebody on YouTube said it. No, somebody on YouTube took a camera and they showed the news segment about it and recorded that it was actually on the news. And the guy himself had did a documentary on his car, and that's still on YouTube of the guy doing the documentary of his car. But our carbon imprint is so bad. So you mean to tell me some guy in Texas, I told you all that to tell you this, some dude in Texas working in his backyard changed a couple components in his car because he said there was only a couple things got to change, and his car ran off of water. Something we have more of abundance than anything else on this planet. Water. So if he can do that and the steam reproduces itself, or that gallon of water was still there, it wasn't like he had to add more, that tells you that the big giant conglomerate companies don't want that because there's too much money in the destruction of the planet. That's too much money in oil. There's too much money in coal. There's too much money in reserves. There's too much money in gas. There's too much money in selling that. So of course they're not gonna let that dude come out. He mysteriously killed himself. If we were really worried about a carbon imprint on the planet, listen to me. If we were really worried about humans leaving a carbon imprint on the planet with all of the cars and the smog, they know how to make a car that runs off water. They know how to make cars electric. Tesla has it. So they kill this man, and Elon Musk has all of his stuff and comes out with his invention, and then to spit in his face, name it Tesla. So his family watches these cars drive up and down the road knowing the technology came from their dead ancestor, and they get zero. Brought to you by the same people that run the world. Think about this, man. Think about this before you just listen to the experts who are the same people. You want to tell me the experts are not the same people? You got a computer guy telling you about a virus who actually has something like 100 and some billion or 300 some billion dollars. Like, really? Yeah, $383 billion. I mean, come on. These are the same people that run the world. I'll give you an example. Do you remember when they was talking about the global warming thing? Now, the elite people on the planet definitely know something that we don't know. That's why they took books out of the Bible. I truly believe that, because the story seems like they're cut off. And they don't go... Anyway, it's my belief. But I also know that they know some things that they definitely won't tell us. Like, the name that was actually in the Bible before it's translated of our Father Jehovah. There's a name that has more power, has so much power, but they keep that away from us. They also keep a lot of stuff away from us because they don't want us to know it. So we have just enough truth, and that's why Jesus is here. Jesus is here so we have an opportunity. You know, there's a lot more to that story. Jesus is here so we have an opportunity. Do you realize that when they were telling us about that, they had to sell it to us like an infomercial? Sold to you, bought to you by the same people that run the world. These people had to tell us over and over. We had to go to seminars, watch shows. You know, he had to go on TV shows. You had to do live seminars on TV. You had to do TED Talks, seminars in person. All of this to show you that the world is going to do this and that and this because of climate. And that 10 billion years ago. How do you seriously, people, come on? How can someone tell you something that happened 10 billion? Come on. I can't even get this message out because I'm so frustrated with the lack of common sense. No man on planet Earth right now can tell you something that's falsified for billions of years. There's no way. Look at the explanations they tell you and then do the math yourself. Do the math. Go back to the Gregorian calendar, right? When it was the Gregorian calendar, go back to that year. Multiply the amount of days, 365, and then the leap year. Multiply it, and then subtract it from the year we're in right now. Come on. Come on. Do the work yourself. And every time you say to people, do this, I'm not going to look that up. It's conspiracy theory. It's not a conspiracy theory. They have to sell it to us like an infomercial. Everything is sold to us like an infomercial. Just pay attention. They have to talk to you, us. They have to talk to us all day, all night, all day, all night to sell us a narrative. Because if they told us, we'd question it. But we don't question it because it's told to us over and over again by experts. That's all you got to do nowadays. But at the same time, hundreds of doctors are coming out about everything that's happening right now. A lot of them ended up dead. News. Yes. People don't like YouTube because they think YouTube is just a bunch of garbage and conspiracy theorists. Well, how about watching people like the two preachers? How about watching people like the Impossible Channel? How about these are people that show strictly news, truth unedited, straight news of what's going on around the world. Straight news. The reason why they sold us that climate change garbage because they keep destroying the planet and blaming us for it. Blaming people. It's people's fault. So people start getting at people instead of look. Oh man, come on, man. We talk about come on. People start looking at people instead of looking at the ones that are actually doing it. Because the ones that are actually doing it give you experts to make you think that what's happening is your fault. Man's wisdom is foolishness to God. They keep telling you how all of this stuff works. How all of this stuff works. In the Bible, it says, oh man, it was a verse in the Bible was talking to you, it said like, no one was there when you put the earth together, when you set the earth on its foundations, when you calm the waters, when you put the firmament, as you guys call it, dome, to separate the waters. No one was there when he did that. The only one that was there when he did that was Jesus. So how can these people tell us how the world works? They talk more about outer space than they talk about the sea. And the sea is right there. You know why? Because they can't go down. They can't go that far down. Plus, it's Satan's marine kingdom. Yeah. Where'd you think they... Come on. When God flooded the earth, flooded everything, where do you think they went? Come on. Let's start thinking about this stuff, man. Let's just stop like bickering with each other about this and that. Let's have some conversation about what's actually happening. They sell us a narrative on the television. They tell us a narrative and they sell it to us over and over again. Because if they don't sell us the narrative, then we would actually think for ourselves. We would actually start noticing things. That's why we are indoctrinated from 4 or 5 years old with pre-kindergarten, before kindergarten, kindergarten start, kindergarten, head start, kindergarten 1, 2, 3, 4, first grade, second grade, and get 12 years of that. Then it's like, boom, now you got to go to college and rack up a bill. And you know what I mean? They're not going to pay for those institutions. They make the cities and states pay for the K through 12. Then they make you pay for the above. And then you use none of this stuff. Come on. With solar narrative. These people are pulling the wool over our eyes. They've been doing it forever. And you can't tell men to just stop and think about things for yourself. Stop looking at the TV. Man's wisdom is foolishness to God. How can men really tell us how this planet works? And don't tell me scientists, they went and dug this and did that. I watch it. Let me tell you, I've been watching documentaries, scientific documentaries, for years. Years. This is why I talk about it, because once I opened my eyes to one of them, I saw the devil in the details in every single one I watched. The devil is in the details. Look at it. It all sounds good. It's a magic trick. It's a magic trick. They talk real fast, but they talk real fast and get you all joyous with song and dance. They get us all joyous with song and dance, and we so busy paying attention to the song and dance that we don't hit a little white, the little reading at the bottom. We don't see that. We're too busy paying attention to the song and dance. Just like they do in the commercials. Buy this drug. This drug is going to help this, that, and this. And they got a man and a woman either hugging or kissing or, having a great time with their children. And the whole time with a song in the background. And the whole time you listening to that and watching that visual, the guys at the bottom going, may cause heart attack, murder, kill, whatever. And he comes out with 1,000 things that this may do to you if you take it. And that's the same way they sell us the news. They sell us everything and we buy it hook, line, and sink because of the experts and the scientists without looking at the repercussions. They knew that around this time, they knew that God's judgment was coming on planet Earth. So they start coming out with all this stuff to keep us from thinking, wait a minute, that look a whole lot like the book of Revelation, doesn't it? China's underwater right now. Brazil's underwater. The rainforest caught on fire earlier this year. There's been so many fires all around the world. Oh, wait a minute. A third of the earth will be burned. Oh, wait a minute. Start calculating that. Start calculating how much burned in America, because Google will tell you. They go to other countries that was on fire and put that together and say, wait a minute. Then come back and see like everything's underwater. There's floods everywhere. The Bible said the rivers will be raging. They're raging everywhere. And then go back and look at all the earthquakes everywhere in diverse places. Places that never had earthquakes. It's happening. That sounds like the birth pains, doesn't it? It's happening. But they keep giving us all this stuff. They keep selling us all this stuff. So we start blaming each other. And not saying, wait a minute, that's God's judgment. Wake up, people. That's God's judgment. But if they can keep us off God's judgment, because, you know, they don't want us on anything, got anything to do with Jehovah. You ain't talking about Jehovah. Nobody want to hear that. Talking about this Jesus, come on, all that Jesus stuff. Well, guess what? I'm going nowhere with my Jehovah and Jesus stuff. You stubborn? I'm stubborn too. I'm telling you, they are fooling us. Experts say. And we hook, line, and sink. No one thinks for themselves anymore because we've been programmed since we was 4 years old. I want to talk about this so much more. I know I say 3 minutes and we're almost at 17 now. God bless you and I love you. But I mean, man, anytime you're a free thinker, they call you conspiracy theory or they make fun of you. Why would the news be addressing people talking about the vaccine? Why would the news be addressing that? Why is it so important for you to get that vaccine for something that has a 99.9% recovery rate in anybody under 70 years old and a 94.6% if you're over 70? Why is something so deadly that you need a test to see if you even got it? If it's that deadly, I'm going to know I got it. Come on, the narrative is being sold to us every single day. But people will not come off their own beliefs and get off their own high horses and say, wait a minute, I had a brain of my own. Instead of watching soap operas and drinking liquor all day, I guess what I can do? I can go to the WHO website and look at it myself. I can go down to the CDC and look at it myself. Because it's right on their web pages. They tell you masks don't help you too. Right on the WHO. But it's a conspiracy theorist. It's right on their webpage. The news showed one time that 3 people caught a disease from the vaccine that made their face drop. One time they showed it. We're being sold a narrative, and the narrative is given us by the author. And the author are the same people that run the world. I'm telling you, I wouldn't say all of this stuff if I didn't love you. Like, I'm not some crazy man trying to get you to put away everything you believe in. I'm trying to get you to believe in what you say you believe in. If you believe in Jesus Christ, if you believe in Jehovah, then look at the world and see what the Father is showing us. See what is happening. God's judgment is coming amongst this earth. This is not a carbon fingerprint. This is not some dude driving an old Volkswagen with smog. That stuff dissipates, man. This is not that. This is us being blinded by the evil one, so a lot of us will die without being saved. And the ones who are not living their lives correctly because they've adopted, instead of Christianity or whatever your religion may be, you've adopted the new religion of fear and being baptized in fear. And we all get scared, but we got to try to get it under control and trust God. I'm telling you, Everything I'm saying is God, God, Jehovah, 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 Jesus, 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 Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit. Not television, not the news. Each news, if the news, there is no independent news. They're either for Trump or they're for Biden. They're either for Obama or for whoever he was running with. They was either for Bush or for whoever he was running with. That's how it always is. They either Democrat or Republican. You're not getting any real news. All you getting all day is fear, 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 fear. And they're going to put us right back in lockdown. Right back. And instead of us saying this is bull, we are blaming each other. It's your fault. People won't put on a mask. People won't do this. People won't do that. Go to right to WHO website and it says that masks do absolutely nothing. So I wear a mask to protect you. But the mask is on my face. Come on, man. Come on. Anyways, man, I'm just here to make you think for a minute. Just think. Think for yourself. Anytime you think for yourself, you look down on. People look down and say I'm crazy. And I'm not crazy. You're crazy for watching that box, man, and thinking that everything that the people that run this planet are telling you is true. The Bible teaches you who runs this world. If he runs this world, and there's a bloodline of people that own everything, who do you think they work for? Come on. So, instead of calling me a conspiracy theorist, I challenge you to pick up your Bible and look at it again. And tell me, in the book of Revelation, you don't see what's going on right now. Right now. Go on YouTube and look up the two preachers and watch the stuff they show you. Go to the Impossible channel and watch what he shows you. And go to Truth Unedited and check the brother out. I'm telling you, they're playing us, but there's some people out there trying to show the truth, trying to get us to see God's judgment is coming on the earth. Everything, he's shaking this place. I'm talking to you on the side of my Father. I'm talking about Jehovah. I'm talking about Jesus. I'm not talking about no ancient aliens or no man. I'm telling you, if you believe in the Father, trust in him, we are being played. Man's wisdom is foolish.